Very good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. Starting off with the Scan and Cut show. I know, how exciting is this? Feel like a Groundhog Day. Although I have to say, this time yesterday I was fast asleep. I'm gonna lie. I know, really bad. Overslept. Got over it now. Carl said last night, he said, I wonder what time you would have woken up. I have no idea because I was well away. Right, let me introduce you to my team this morning. We've got Sean on cameras.
Morning.
We've got Lewis in the driving seat.
Hello.
There he is. And you've got me for this hour. Now then, let me explain about live shopping, and then we're going back. A little piece of Two Red Robins history. It's lovely. Really excited about this. So live shopping, what's it all about? Well, there's lots of different ways that you can find us and watch us on live shopping. And the best thing about it is that you do not, Sean, you're scaring me now. You do not have to leave to shop. Go on, what were you going to say?
I put the wrong image on this SVG download.
Have you? You're doing well this morning, kid, aren't you?
God.
Yesterday it was my day, today it's yours day. I've handed you the button. It's fine, don't worry about it. We'll sort it out.
It'll take literally a minute.
Oh, don't worry, Sean. Honestly, it's fine. We're having, I think we're all ready for just a bit of a break at Christmas, and we're all kind of like a bit delirious, but it's brilliant, and you'll have a lot of fun. So you can find us on YouTube if you like to watch us on your TV. Just go onto YouTube on your TV and type in Highlight Crafts and you'll see the live streams. And every single show that we've ever done, if you go to playlists and live, every single show we've ever done is there. So if you missed any of the shows that we've done, particularly the Scan and Cut show yesterday at 6 o'clock. Well, it was 5:30 till 7, actually. I gave you an extra half an hour yesterday. Then you can watch those back. Now, you can also watch us on Facebook and Instagram and our website, which is highlightcrafts.com. But before you shop with us, if you're a brand new customer or an existing customer who's never created an account, please go and do it, because it's free, which is what you would expect, but it automatically makes you a member of Club Highlight for free. So there's no charges on our clubs, which is brilliant. Now then, all you need to do, give us your date of birth, because we like to send you something nice on your birthday. And once you've opened an account, you automatically become a member of Club Highlight. And that means that on every single order that you place with us, without exception, there's none of this, oh, that voucher code doesn't work with this, you will get extra discount. You're then going to get 5 loyalty points back for every single £1 that you spend. And on a basket spend over £35 after your discounts, we'll pay postage for you. So it's all the benefits of being in a club, but none of the fees, which is wonderful, isn't it? If you want to watch us and shop with us on Facebook or Instagram, each product that we show you will have a code. And all you need to do to purchase that product is type the word shop and then that code into the comments underneath the video, and that will automatically put that product into a basket for you. Then we're going to send you a direct message. When you open that message up, you'll find a link. Click the link. That will take you to our website where you can log into that account and then check out those baskets. So it couldn't be easier to shop with us. Now, if you prefer to shop with us on the website, you can do that. You don't need the shop codes for that. All we're going to do is click play, and all the products in that show will appear down the right hand side of your screen. You then just select the ones that you want to buy. They'll go into a little red shopping bag at the top of your screen, and when you're ready to log in and check out, click on that bag and that will take you through that process. So it's super, super easy to shop with us. Now, if you want to get ahead of the game, listen, it's Christmas is coming, isn't it? You're out and about, Christmas lunches, seeing friends, shopping, all that kind of stuff. You can shop ahead from midnight. So if you go onto our main homepage on the website, shop today's deals, all the deals and all the shows will open up for you, and then you can shop ahead, and then when you come back from your shopping, you know that you've got all your goodies. Right, let me say good morning to a few of you before we start. So we have got Barbara B with us this morning. Good morning, Barbara. We've got Sheila. Good morning this stormy day. I know there's apparently a storm coming. Alan says, a big thank you to Highlight Crafts from Alan, with love and gratitude to the incredible staff and crew at Highlight Crafts. You have truly changed my life and made it brighter. Oh, that's lovely. I'm not going to read it all because I'll get emotional then, Alan, so I don't want to do that on my first show. And I don't know whether you know, but you won the draw last night, so you won the picture that I made yesterday. I was really pleased. You've got Doreen with us this morning. We've got Sue. We've got Fran. We've got Diane Barker. Morning, everyone, working from home today with this on in the background. There's quite a few of you do that. There's a few of you that I met in Bath that sit with your drawer open at the side of your desk with your phone on. I love that. We've got Linda with us, Avril. Maureen's joined us. Good morning, everyone. Ria's joining us from the Netherlands. Fran says, strange, can't see comments apart from Diane. We'll have a look at that for you. We've got Wendy S. Morning, Mel. Been watching catch up since 3 a.m. Good day, it's my day. Good job, it's my day off. Brilliant, Wendy. We've got Lexi, Pam, Morwen's with us, Tracy, and Lynn. Right, so I talked about a little bit of Two Red Robins history. Now then, we have got chapters 5 to 8 of the Two Red Robins SVG files for you. So if you've already got these, sit back, relax, enjoy the demo. And there's other things that you can shop for on the show. But if you're somebody that's been new to Scan and Cut, if you've had a Scan and Cut, I'm going to say in the last 3.5 years, you might not have seen the Two Red Robins SVG. So we wanted to revisit it for those of you that haven't been on that journey as long as, well, from the beginning, basically. So let me introduce you to these. First of all, we've got Amber Glow, and this was all your autumnal. However, autumn happens every year. So you've got your fallen leaves in here. Now then, this is wonderful. If you take a piece of watercolour card, put it in the bottom of a box, get some of your spritzers and your sprays and spray that watercolour card so it's covered in autumnal colours. Then leave it to dry completely. All right, don't try not to blast it off, because what happens then is your card can buckle. So just try and keep it as flat as you can. Then put it onto your Scan and Cut bat and then cut these leaves out of it. Every single leaf that you've done will be unique. Love that, right? So you've got your fallen leaves. You've also got Luna, the owl, which is one of my all-time favourite images in here. You're also going to get your pumpkins in there, and you're going to get your cobwebs with your little spiders. Then you're also going to get Oswald, the scarecrow, love him, and Winter Cherry. Can't remember what they're called, but they're orange and they've got a transparency to them and your little seeds inside. If you know what they're called, let me know, because I can't remember. Surprise, surprise. Now then, we've also got Bumblebee Barn, another one of my favourites. So you get the nesting barn. You also get the bumblebee shelter. You get the downspout. You get Fluff and Feathers. That's a lovely one, white feathers. I mean, we all have, well, we don't like making sympathy cards, do we? But white feathers are a symbol that one of your loved ones is with you. So imagine doing that in white and then setting it into resin. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? I see white feathers all the time. Then you've got Frayed with your rope. You've also got Let Yourself In with the broken bolt. You've also got Old Tractor Tom. Ruffled with the little robin. You've got Sweet Sprig with the apples. That's one of my most used ones when we did the big frames. And also you've got Woven Willow, which is your basket. Then you're also going to get the Busy Bees. Love that. And you're also going to get Shaded Corner with that beehive. Now these would work perfectly with your Wibblers as well. So if you've got those, that's going to be perfect. Now, I have to say, one of my all-time favourite collections is in this, and we're going to work with this in this hour. We're going to demonstrate with this one. End of the Lane. I love Kingsley and Merriweather, the geese. They just make me laugh, because I've got all these stories going on about what they're having a really good gossip. They are. It's brilliant. So you've got Belle, the blue tit in there. You've got Collection Point, which is your post box. You've got Cream of the Crop, which are your milk urns. You've then got your fledglings, so you've got Pip, Scuttle and Buddy in here. You've got Forever Green. You've got Kingsley and Merriweather. You've got Misty, Morning Delivery. How many of you remember that when you had the proper glass bottles with the silver top on? And the blue tits used to come down and pet the top and drink the cream. I can hear my mum now shouting in the background. Blinking birds! And we've got Reminisce, which is your clover, and Resilient Beauty, which is your thistle. And then you're also going to get Chipped, which is the plant pot. And then you're also going to get Blush, which is your little hair down there as well. Now you will get all of the reflections, the reverse of the reflections, the decoupage layers, and the detailed designs. So if you've got your embossing kit, you could do these on parchment. That would look wonderful. You've then got Nature's Homestead. So you've got Groundwork, Hickory Catkins, Lightly Shaded, Overlooked, which is your old-fashioned watering can, and the handles and the spouts are separate. So if you wanted to just use it as a container, you could. You've got Owl Trio, Blinky, Barney and Boo. Love those. And you've got your silver birch in there as well. And then to finish it off, you've got Oliver Duke. Very monumental, that owl. It's gorgeous. And you've got Oscar, and I love that one. I love the owl in flight. I think it's really, really clever. Right, so Shop SVG will get you all of those chapters, all 4 of them, for $19.99. Wow. You should be paying $59.96, but you're not. You're paying $19.99. That's before your discount, and that's for 4 collections. So you're saying paying £5 per collection for all of that artwork, all of the SVG files with all of that capability that we talk about all the time. Just wonderful, wonderful way to be able to catch up. So maybe you missed out. Chapters 5 to 8 is what we're bringing you. We're also going to bring you the Minecraft Studio for this as a separate show later on. Now then, think about what we've learnt recently. We've learnt that if you bring on a piece of artwork in Minecraft Studio and then bring on the coordinating digistamp, you can line them both up, make it whatever size you want, and then when you print it out, because you've put that digital stamp which gives you a complete line all the way around, you don't even need to turn it black. You can literally just scan it in. The scan and cut will find it and cut it out for you. It's brilliant. Love it. Right, now then, a few other things that we've got to talk about. Vellum. All right, so I chose this vellum specifically for scan and cut. Now, yesterday at 6 o'clock, we talked about doing it with the piercing kit, and I gave you slightly different settings for that. But the reason I wanted a really heavyweight parchment rather than a thin vellum is when you're embossing, you need to do it 3 times, and you need to go up gradually with your pressure. And then it gives you that really lovely white, crisp finish. So I wanted something that the ball tool wasn't going to go through and damage your mat. The second reason is because I wanted you to be able to use a water-based medium on the back of it to colour it without it buckling. So we went for a really high quality, thick parchment. Shop Vellum, $12.99, will get you all of those, okay? Right, now then, talking about water-based mediums, we had these on yesterday and I got Lewis to add them back on today because this is tremendous value for money. So, we all remember, I'm sure, a brand called Tombow, and their pens were brilliant, but they were expensive. Then I found another brand called Art and Graphic, where they were same quality but a little bit cheaper, so I started buying those. Honestly, you're not going to find a better deal than this today. These are absolutely superb value. So instead of being $33.98, so $16.99 a set, they're down to $11.99 for 2 sets. That's bonkers, isn't it? But brilliant. It works out at 50p a pen before your discount. Now these are great. Okay, so first of all, you've got a lovely brush nib on one end. All right, so you've got that lovely soft brush nib that lays colour down beautifully. Okay, then you're also going to get a bullet end on the other end that you can use for your finer work. Now these pens fit in your universal pen holder. So that means you can draw on colour with this end. Don't do it with a brush end, you'll damage it. But this end, brilliant. Okay, so you're going to get 2 sets for less, £5 less than you'd normally pay for one. If you're looking for stocking fillers, if you've got grandchildren, children, nieces, nephews, yourself, your friends, if you run a craft group and you want secret Santas, this is going to be brilliant. So shop pastel, £11.99, £6 a pack before you discount. It's crazy value for money. Please don't miss out on those. We sold a lot of these yesterday. We've got a decent stock, but I don't want anybody missing out because that will be fabulous. Right, I can see a message from Alan. Let's have a look. Question, will my picture frame 01 be signed, as that will make it more special to me? Thank you. I can do that. Do you want the whole team? All of us? Let me know if you want all the team. Angela says, I've had mine for about 7 years and still an ornamental feature. Are we talking scan and cut machines? Right, I need to do this, Angela. Why? Why? Angela, if it's time, I get it. But if it's just because you're scared of it, go onto our YouTube channel and search Scan and Cut. There are 13 hours worth of free classes that you can access on our YouTube channel. Don't be scared of it. It won't break it. It won't bite you. Just go on there, do the first bit, do it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. Then go on to the next bit. Do the same thing again, because we bring you shows. Honestly, yesterday, and bearing in mind we're nearly 10 years into this journey, I worked something new out. So let me hold your hand. Please let me take you on that journey, and let me take you, honestly, get the most out of your Scan and Cut, because that machine is amazing. So let me, please, Angela, I don't like giving people the look. Alan says yes, please. Okay, we can do that. We'll get that sorted for you. All right. Right, don't miss out on those pens. Shop pastel, £11.99 for 2 packs. I mean, good grief. You could go into an inexpensive shop on the high street and you won't get a deal like that for that quality. Make sure you get those in your baskets. Right, let's talk glitter card, shall we? Because this is beautiful. I love the colours in this card. It's absolutely stunning. So, first of all, you're going to get your silver. You're then going to get a lovely mauve colour. It's like a very vintage lilac. You're then going to get a lovely pink. You also get a silver. Now, this is completely non-shed, so it's safe to use with your Scan and Cut. So don't worry about that. It's perfectly safe. You've got your green. You've also got a couple of different blues, another green, and then a lovely rosy pink. So all of those 10 sheets. Now, the ironic thing is the code is Shop Shed. Always makes me laugh, that. Look at this. Nothing at all. Literally nothing at all. So please get this into your baskets. Lewis, my TV's frozen, darling. Surprise, surprise. It's always in this studio. Right, let's talk about printables, shall we? So first of all, printable acetate. This is great. Now, when you get the Minecraft Studio for this, I'm sure you've already got lots and lots and lots of scenes. What looks really cool with this is if you print a background on one of these, and then you put that background over the glitter card, it looks incredible and it looks super expensive. So try that as well. Now, it's for inkjet and laser. So I always laughed at David because he'd stand there like that, trying to work out which side was which. If you can feel that, if you can hear that it's a little bit rougher on one side, that's your inkjet. The other side is your laser. All right, so it works with both, which is great. On your laser, just put one sheet in at a time, and on your inkjet, to be fair. And you might need, I haven't found I needed it, but you might need to just put a piece of copier paper behind it to stabilise it as you run it through, okay? But I haven't found I needed to do that on our printer, but yours might be different. So you're going to get 25 sheets. We've knocked £2 off this as well. Great time to get it then. Shop acetate, $12.99. Now then, we've also got construction weight acetate in here. A pack of 10. This acetate is superb. I'm just going to open up one of these pieces for you. This is what I used yesterday to do all my drawings on when we did the picture and we did the acetate trick where we drew around certain areas of a paper. This is what I used. Now, I drew on it and you might think, well, that's a waste. It's not. Because I drew on it with an alcohol pen, a Sharpie, a solvent-based pen. I could then take hand sanitizer and just wipe it off. But this, for your construction, listen, it's really thick. What's really amazed me is that this will cut on your Scan and Cut. It'll cut it a few times, but it will cut it. It's amazing. So if you've never had this before, please try it because you won't regret it. And it does give, you imagine when you've done an aperture on a card and you want it coming off, so you've got foam pads behind it. If you use a thin acetate, sometimes it can wrinkle or dip. Because you're using the thick acetate, it gives that aperture that you've weakened by cutting that piece of paper, the centre out that piece of paper. It gives it the strength back, and it also works really nicely with your Cadence Frost. So you can dab that on the aperture and it looks like you're looking through a frosty window into the background. It's a brilliant product. Shop Construction, $11.99. And if you would like to stock up on your rice papers, we have a pack of 20 A4 for you. This is the rice paper that David chooses to use all the time. Shop Rice, $12.99 will get you that. Now then, Elizabeth says, my husband bought me a scan and cut and he said it's the worst present he's ever bought me, as he says he never sees me now. Elizabeth, I love that. That's brilliant. Love that. Well, I do warn them. Everybody that when it came to come and buy one at the show, I'm like, right, just make sure that you stock the freezer up before you turn it on, because you're not coming out for a few weeks, right? And Wendy C says, evening all from New Zealand. We're international team today. That's one place that's on my bucket list. I'd love to go to New Zealand. Right, I want to talk to you about this piercing kit and then the embossing kit, and then we're going to go into demo. Now then, this we don't have in stock all the time. We sold quite a lot of this yesterday. And it was something that I went to Brother and said, could we have a piercing tool that replicates like the dot detail that you can get on the pin dot detail that you can get on some of the dies, because I love that. And sometimes, especially if you're working on vellum or a plain card and you like simple projects, sometimes you just want a little bit of detail. Well, this is going to do that for you, and it's superb. So inside your box, you're going to get the Brother mat that has the red rubber, red, it's not red melon, it's black. The black rubber mat on it. Okay, please don't try and take that off. It's not meant to be taken off. It's meant to be saved on that mat for good. You're also going to get your holder and your two different needle tools. I tend to use the 0.8. I find the 0.4 a little bit too fine, but it's there if you want to use it. You've also got a card and an envelope to get you started. And you get a little activation code that you can activate in Canvas Workspace. You don't need to activate that to use this kit. All right, it's not about registering it and it's speaking to your machine. It just gives you, I think there's 30 designs maybe, or maybe there's 50 designs. Does it tell me? 30 designs, I thought it was. But you can use it with any shape. So any shape that's inside your machine's memory. Any of the cutting files, they'll all work pierced. In fact, those leaves will be lovely pierced because they've got the detail lines in. That'll be lovely. We'll see if we can do that later on. But it's a fabulous, fabulous piece of kit. Now, yesterday, this is what we did. So we just took a snowflake from inside the SDX 1200's memory, and we took the Noel from the phrases, and we just pierced. Look how absolutely pinpoint accurate that is. It's superb, this product. Now, when I was doing this, I tried to be a bit clever, and I thought, wonder what would happen if I take it closer. And I did it, so you can set, what I'm talking about is you can set the distance between those dots. And I was like, right, I wonder what would happen if we did it really close together. So I did it on card and the middle fell out, and I was like, oh, okay. Now then, took that premise, and yesterday afternoon I sat in here and look at this. We worked out, and I'm not saying it's as good as doing it by hand or as accurate, but we've managed to get this picot edge. Can you see? So last night at 6 o'clock, watch that show back. So the trick is, we brought on the snowflake, we created a 2 millimeter outward offset line. So it made it a little bit chunkier. Then we created an inward offset line, which was 2.5 millimeters. And the first one we did, and set it to pierce. The first shape, the offset that we did, we embossed it. And then I asked the inside one, the offset, inward offset, to pierce. And then I sent it round twice. Now the distance between the dots was set at 1 millimeter, and I asked it to go around twice. by going around twice, it weakens that parchment enough that you can then pop it out. So you end up not just with this bit that comes out with that little picot edge, but you also get that, which then sent my head into a spin, which is why I didn't get to sleep very early last night, because I was thinking about all the different techniques we can now do with this. Now this is for the SDX only, I'm afraid. They tried it on the CM and they couldn't make it work because the mat's thick, the rubber mat's quite thick, because it needs to be to go take that needle. It hits the scanner unit at the back of the CM because you can't lift the back rollers. So SDX only for this one, but honestly, brilliant. If you live with somebody that crafts and they've got a scan and cut and you want to know what to buy them for Christmas, that, great shout. Now $76.99 shop starter will get you that, then you'll get your discount off and you'll get your points back, and more than likely we'll pay your postage, because I don't think anyone's basket spend will be under £35 after the discount, so we'll pay postage for you as well. So get it while we've got it in stock. I don't think we'll be getting any more in this side of Christmas, but it's a brilliant, brilliant piece of kit. Now the other one that I want to talk to you about is your embossing, because you can see we've embossed and then, hold that there, we've embossed here and then we've done the piercing. So the two work perfectly in conjunction with each other. So your embossing starter kit comes with an A4 mat that feels like a very thin layer of memory foam. And what that does is it enables the ball tools, once you put them in the holder that come in the kit, to stretch those fibres gently. I don't care what anybody tells you, if you put a piece of parchment on a sticky mat and run a ball tool down it, you're not going to get that white, because it needs something to push into to stretch those fibres, which is why when you watch people do parchment, they work on one of those mats, because it has a little bit of give. So it gives you the ability to be able to push in and stretch those fibres. You also get a couple of pieces of card. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, it's not great on card. The pressure that you can get on it isn't deep enough to give you a really good emboss. All right, I'm just going to put that out there. Brilliant on craft metal and superb on your parchment. So get that in your basket as well, both of them, and you get an activation card for that as well. But please don't miss out on that piercing starter kit, because we did sell quite a lot of them yesterday. Right, let's go and demo, shall we? So first of all, we're going to work with end of the lane, all right, because it's my favourite. And I've already gone ahead and cut some of the bits out, because you didn't want to see me do all of that. I'm just going to put my cut area back to full, because I was isolating, not literally, but you know what I mean. And then we're going to cut out this reflection. So I've got all my other pieces ready, but I wanted to do this one. And what we're going to do is take the reflections, we're going to create a card base from it, and then we're going to lay all of the reflections over the top. All right, so I just need to cut out this milk churn here. So I'm going to place this on my mat. Now I know most of you know this, but we do get new customers all the time. And you're just going to burnish this down. Now I re-tacked my mat this morning, so it's a little bit tackier than it was yesterday. Right, so files are on my USB. Do we have the 16 gig blank USB on the show?
Yes, we do.
Right, we've got, what we do is bring you USBs under the Craftmaster brand, because the USBs that we used to have written when we sold them as USBs in a tin, we know that these USBs work perfectly in the scan and cut. We started with the 4 gig, then we had to go up to an 8 gig, now we've gone up to a 16 gig. Now the 16 gig will hold all of your Tattered Lace subscription, which is brilliant, all right? So you only need one for that, and you've got about 4 gig left over. But I personally like to put all my files on USBs. Sometimes I clean them off and then just go back and re-put other stuff on, but it's worth getting that in your basket. Shop USB $12.99 will get you one of those. So to access from the USB, we're going to retrieve the information from that USB. We're going to go into end of the lane. Let me move this out your way, Sean, and then you can rest properly. Don't go to end of the lane, cream of the crop, because that's the name of the file. You want to go into your reflection cuts, and we want number 2. So all of that information will be on your reflection when you print it out. So you can see now we've got the rectangle with all of those milk churns. We're going to edit. We're going to multiple select everything on the mat, press OK, go back to Object Edit and group it together. And now what we're going to do is scan this in. So we're scanning this in so it brings a full colour picture up on your screen. So we're going to load this mat in. Oh, bear with. There we go. Load it in. And always keep hold of your mat when you're loading it, please, because that will stop it. One roller taking it and another one rejecting it. Because sometimes if you let it go and it moves slightly, one roller can grab it but the other can't, and that's when it does that and twists. So we're going to scan this in from here, all right? So not from the home screen, but from here. And then what it will do is bring a full colour image up on your screen, and then you just line up those two rectangles. So the rectangle with your reflection and the rectangle that is around your artwork, okay? And it's super easy, it couldn't be easier. So we're going to go to Edit and zoom in, and we're going to zoom in to 400%. So right in, and then all we do is drop that over there like that, so it's all lined up nicely. So you can see that red line over that black line. Press OK. Now all I want is this one. So to just cut one, we're going to ungroup it, tap the screen to release the shapes, and then all we need to do is take our cut area and change it. And if the scan and cut can't see it, it can't cut it. So if we isolate just that one, and then we just keep going until we get to please select and cut, and then press OK and start, it will then just cut out that one, which is brilliant, isn't it? So we're going to do that, and then going to save that file with some others, add it to some others, and we're going to take it in Canvas Workspace and divide them. Because when I'm building my picture, if there's any little landlocked areas, I want it to work for that as well, okay? So we're going to do that little bit in Canvas Workspace. You don't have to, if you're not bothered about some of the little elements disappearing, you don't have to do that bit, but I like to because it just gives you that extra little bit of detail, but it's entirely up to you. My brain just won't let me do it. I know, it's bad, it's really bad. It's good when it works, my brain, but when it doesn't, yeah, it's a disaster. Right, let's get this off here. So I've got all the little pieces cut out now that I need, and we've got a question. Stay there, Sean, I'm coming back. Question. Could you explain the 3 different mats for the SDX machine, please? Yes, absolutely. So, Adele, a low-tack mat you will use for, to be honest, right, here's the thing. If I could get brother to make a mat that didn't have any adhesive on, I would do it in a heartbeat. Because when you get the mats, they're sticky, but they don't last long enough, and there's nothing they can do about it. If they make them stickier, you can't get the product off. If they don't make them sticky enough, everybody, and I'm first of the queue, complains that the mats don't last long enough. So I went to brother and I said, right, we need to do something about this. And I found Pinflair stencil glue, and I got them to authorise it to use in the UK. It's a bit of a battle, but you can. So low tack is for things like a lightweight paper, your reflections, 140 GSM. Anything that's under, I would say, 180, right? Your standard mat is for everything above that, so you're going to use that. Now, you'll find that the mats don't last a few cuts and then you're struggling. So get yourself some stencil glue, and you should be able to do this with your mat. I'd rather you put a small amount on and re-tacked more often than put too much on and not be able to get the card off your mat, all right? So we do it gently. There is a video on our YouTube channel showing you the correct way to re-tack a mat. So those are your 2 cutting mats, and then you've got a scanning mat. Now the scanning mat is completely different to this. It's a mat that doesn't have any adhesive on, and it has a plastic sheet that you lift up, put your things inside, and then scan them in. Now, it also doesn't have a grid on it, which means that you've got a completely clean background. So if you're scanning in something like a tattered lace die cut, because you want to make it bigger, you can do that, and it gives you the ability to then be able to scale it up, but you don't have all the cut lines, because if I put a die cut on here and scan this in, you're going to see the die cut, but you can see all the cut lines, and you don't want to be sat there all day editing that, because that's a pain in the neck. So your clean scanning mat will give you the ability to be able to scan things in with that clean background. So I hope that answers your questions. If it doesn't, message back in, please. I like that. I like it when people message back in. Right, we're going to go back and we're going to do a little bit of editing here. So first things first, I'm going to put my cut area back to full, and I'm going to press OK. And then I'm going to get rid of the rectangle. I'm going to keep this file, and I'm going to get rid of all the others. So make sure that one that you don't want to keep is selected. Multiple select, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do it that way. Right, let's do it this way. So we're going to group this one together first. So let me come out of this and select that one. So multiple select part of the mat. We're going to drag over these areas here, and then we're going to group those together. So when we move it, it moves as one piece. Now we're going to select one of the ones we don't want to keep, and we're going to multiple select part of the mat, drag over that little area there, select everything else that's on there and pop that in the bin. Now I also have another file now, so I'm going to add, I'm going to go back into my retrieve data, back into my USB, and then going to scroll down, and there are all my other ones that I've brought on this morning. Oh, I've already done that one, Melanie. Of course you have, love. Right, let's get rid of that one then, and what I need is Kingsley and Merriweather. Right, so let's move all these over here, and let's add the reflection and get Kingsley and Merriweather. So add, retrieve data from the USB. Go back into end of the lane, go to Kingsley and Merriweather, there they are, reflections cuts, and I use the original one. All right, so you'll get your different sizes in there as well. And then I want the cutting file. So it's going to open this up, and then all we're going to do is drag, let's get rid of the rectangle first, because it sees that sat on top, which is why it won't let me to get to anything else. And we'll move all these over here like that, and then we'll get rid of everything else. So multiple select, part of the mat, drag over what you don't want, and put the rest in the bin. Right, I'm going to save that now to my USB, because I'm doing this like you would if you had a CM machine that isn't Wi-Fi enabled. I'm going to take this out, and we're going to take them into Canvas Workspace, because those little aperture areas there, if you just try and weld now, they will disappear, and I want to keep them. So I'm going to pop my USB into here like this, and we're going to shut that down, and then we're going to import this file. So SVG, choose the file, that will open up your computer. Then we'll go into the USB file, and we want file number 71. So double click that, and then when we open that up, we've got all of these pieces. All right, so we've got all of these. So that one needs dividing, that one does, that one doesn't, that one doesn't. Does that one? Yep, that one does. And then your little fledglings at the bottom. All right, so we're going to click on this one, go to edit and divide. And divide is like a digital punch that will come down and punch those little handles through there and leave you with the waste. It's a bit like die cutting it. Then we'll do the same with the ivy. So we'll just grab that, go up to edit and divide. And then we move that out of the way. And you've got that little unlocked area there. Now, it might not bother you, but it bothers me. So I have to do it. Otherwise, I won't sleep. I know it's mad, isn't it? And then we're going to divide the thistle as well. So let's move that over here. Now, you might think, I'm going to send this back. I'm going to save this now and send it back. So I'm going to put end of the lane. We'll just do it in capitals, end of the lane. And we're going to download it. Now we need to make sure that everything is within the parameters of that mat before we download it. If I weld it here, sometimes when you rotate something in Canvas Workspace, when you try and weld it, it reverts back to its original orientation, and we don't want that. We absolutely don't want that. So I'm going to download it from here and put it back on. Oh, see, it's telling me can't download it because those are slightly outside of the cutting area. That's what I love about Scan and Cut. If you do something it can't do, it tells you, which is brilliant, right? So once you've downloaded to PC, go to the little folder here, that will open it up, and then all you do is right click, and on this computer it's show more options and send to, and then you send to that USB. Now by doing it that way, when I put the USB back into my Scan and Cut, it will hold that title, it'll keep it, which is exactly what we want. So while we're here, we're going to do it correctly, and we're going to go onto the USB drive, we're going to right click and eject it so it ejects safely. See, I'm doing it properly, Sean, for once. Right, I know I need to because it is naughty. We're going to put that back in there now. All right, so we can press home and get rid of all of those files now because we've divided them all. So now we're going to retrieve the information from the USB. We're going to go down to the bottom, and there is my file that says EOTL, end of the lane. And now I've got what I want to use. Right, so first of all, let's make our scene. So we're going to start with our milk churn down here, all right? And then I want the thistle, and I want the thistle about there, so it comes slightly over the edge. Then I want some ivy, and I want this a few times, so I'm going to duplicate it. So I've got 2, and I can move one of those up there. Now I checked before I did this that all the ivy is the same, so all 3 on one sheet is exactly the same file. So I didn't need to do all 3. They're not like 3 different ones, they're all the same. We've just put 3 on one sheet. So I've now got my ivy, and I can still see my thistle popping out here, which is what I want. Then I'm going to bring in Kingsley and Merriweather, so I'm going to rotate them so that's the right way up, and you can rotate in 10-degree increments. So I'm going to have that one there, and I'm actually going to bring in this other ivy and rotate that a little bit more, so that goes over there like that. So we've got ivy coming all the way around like that. I then want Merriweather, and I'm going to have her about there, and then I want Pip, who I'm going to rotate 90 degrees, and he's just going to sit on the top like that. So I don't need those 2. So we'll get rid of that one. I'll put in that in the bin, and we'll get rid of that one. Now what I need is for these to be level at the bottom. So what I'm going to do now, let's just press that, is zoom right in, and then I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to make sure that all of this is level at the bottom, because otherwise it's all floating. So I'm using one of the lines on the grid to try and get that all the same level. So I'm going to move, no, I want that bit, bear with, we have to come out sometimes and use our select arrows, because I need that milk churn, and we're going to drop that down a few spaces like that. And then I want that ivy, that one there, and I'm going to move that up a couple of spaces. I can't align it to the bottom because it will bring all of it to the bottom. And now what we're going to do is weld all of this together. So what I like to do is save that back onto the USB, so if I forget, I've got a visual of where all the files are. And then we're going to multiple select everything that's on the mat, press OK, go to Object Edit, and weld all of those together, and you'll get this funny looking outline. Now it might take a few seconds because it's got to work it out, but then there's your shape card. So we just press OK, and we've now got that. Now I will cut 2 of those, one for the back, one for the front. We'll cut one now, and then you can see how we start to build this up. Right, so craft card is going to go on here, whoop, like that. And we're going to cut this bit out, and while that's cutting, I'll go back to the actual download itself, because we get people joining us all the way through the show. But this, I just wanted to show you how you can use your reflections. Now, if you want to have if you want this with them as a matte layer so that you see the craft card around the edge, what we're going to do now is we're going to create a, let's see if now when you press offset, it has to work out whether it can actually do it. Okay, it can't create an offset on that because there's too many tiny areas that it can't get to. All right, so we'll just cut it as it is, and then we'll build it up, but it gives you that rigidity. You could cut it out of your construction weight acetate if you wanted to. That would be rather lovely, because then you wouldn't see the card at all. Right, let's go back to this download, because I don't want anybody missing out on this. We've got a question. Question, Mel. As you are on different time zones, I missed some lives. Which option do I select when I want to scan a die cut to the machine to make it bigger? Tried but failed. Hope that makes sense. And thank you for your answer. Julianne, you're very welcome. Right, so, hang on, I've just forgotten the question. Bear with. Right, so, honestly, my brain. Put the die cut in a scanning mat. Scan to cut data, and you've got three options. Your first one is an outline, so that will only ever find the outside edge. Your middle one is like two frames. That's the one that you choose, because that cuts on either side of every line. And then your third option, it will find the middle of every line. So for example, if you've drawn a leaf and you want to put the veining in, you can draw that, and then when you scan it in, it will find the middle of every line and put that detail in. So it's the middle option on scan to cut data. And also go and have a look on our YouTube channel, Julianne, because there's loads of free education, and you can watch every single live show that we've ever done back. So go on YouTube, Highlight Crafts, playlists and live, and then that will give you the ability to be able to do that. So I hope that helps, and you're very welcome. Right, now then, let's have a look at this. So we're going back a little bit in time in a couple of the shows. Today we're going back to the beginning of Two Red Robins. We brought you chapters 1 to 4 a couple of weeks ago. We're now bringing you chapters 5 to 8. So you're going to get 4 full Two Red Robins collections with the web exclusives as well, which is brilliant. So you get the web exclusive designs in there. For £5 a collection before your discount. That's bonkers. And there's no postage because it's digital. Brilliant, right? So first of all, you're going to get Amber Glow. So you've got your pumpkins, you've got your cobwebs, you've also got your fallen, which are all your leaves. Love that. That on embossing on parchment would look absolutely beautiful. And then you've also got Lunar. And remember, you can line up the detailed design over the reflection and foil it. I know the alignment guide won't be there, but we did it up till a few weeks ago like that. Just zoom right in and make sure you've got them all lined up. Also, you can take your detailed or your digi-stamps when we bring you the Micro Studio later on and lay it over the artwork so it looks like it's been stamped and coloured, which is brilliant. You've then got Oswald the Scarecrow, and you've got Winter Cherry. And you're going to get all the artwork and the reverse of the artwork, your detailed designs, 3 different sizes to get you started, and also your decoupage layers for all of this. You're then going to get Bumblebee Barn, which has got the barn itself, the little beehive, you've got the downspout, you've got the broken lock, the rope, fluff and feathers, the tractor in there, and a beautiful sprig of apples with a basket and a little robin. You're then going to get the busy bees and the shaded corner with the beehive. Love that. That's fabulous. You're then also going to get my favourite, End of the Lane, Kingsley and Merriweather. So you've got Belle. You've also got your collection point, which is your post box. You've got your cream of the crop. You've got your Pip, Buddy and Scuttle. You've also got Forever Green, Kingsley and Merriweather, Misty, the Morning Delivery, etc., and your Clover and your Thistle. You've then got your Pot and your Hare. You're then also going to get Nature's Homestead, which has the gardening tools, the catkins, well held, lightly shaded, overlooked, silver birch, and your Blinky, Barney and Boo. Love those owls. And then you've also got Oliver Duke and Oscar. Now you've got the web exclusives in there as well. Shop SVG, $19.99 will get you that. Now then, I'm being asked to show you these again because these are superb value for money. This will be the best deal you get all day. Now then, these pens have a wonderful brush nib. Let me just grab the back of this and I can show you, look how soft that brush nib is. And you can go really, really fine, or if you use it sideways, you can get a nice thick line as well. They're beautiful pens to use. You then also on the other end going to get a bullet nib. Now these work in your universal pen holder, which means you can draw and fill with that end. Don't do it with the other end, you'll ruin it, but that end. Now you're getting 11 lovely colours in pastels. They're really pretty and they're water based, so if you want to use them to watercolour with, you absolutely can. And they will still go on the back of our parchment even though they're water based, because I chose a parchment that would make sure that it would do that. Now these are normally $16.99 each, which actually is a really good price, but today we're doing 2 packs. So you could have both for yourself or give one away or give one as a stocking filler at Christmas. You're going to get 2 packs, shot pastel, $11.99. So you're saving £5 on that one and you're getting that one completely free. Brilliant, right? Shot pastel, $11.99. Now, one last look at this piercing starter kit. We don't have a lot of these left. I don't think we'll be getting any more in before Christmas, because we're getting up to that stage now where deliveries start getting a little bit slower, don't they? But this is superb. You get everything in the kit. So you get your mat with the rubber mat on it. Just keep it on it. Don't try and take it off, because it's not meant to come off. It's meant to be on there. You then get your 2 needle tools and your holder, and you also get an activation code that gives you 30 designs in there, okay, for paper piercing. But you don't have to use those designs. It will work on any shape, which is fabulous. Now this, next year we're going to do a lot more with this, because I love this. We could do whole download designs just based around this kit. Now it is for CM users only, I'm afraid. There's nothing we can do about that, because when you scan it into your CM, because you can't lift your back rollers, because the rubber mat is quite thick, it hits the scanner at the back. And brother said if we get people who are buying it, putting it in the CM and it hits the scanner unit and it breaks the machine, that's our fault. So we're going to say that it doesn't work for your CM. They also had to change the way that the machine worked for this, because even if you do a full stop, it will still go down and do a tiny circle and come up if you're drawing a full stop. What this does now is it's like a sewing machine motion, so it does that, like that. And it's absolutely brilliant. And then yesterday I worked out how to make it look like a picot edge. Now I'm not saying it's perfect, and I'm not saying it's as good as if you did it by hand, but I'll tell you what, it's good enough. I love that. I think it's really cool. And then look, you can do it round your shapes. So what you do with this is you put the dot distance to 1 millimeter and you let it go around twice. So let it do it once, then let it do it again, and it weakens those holes enough for you to be able to pop it out. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's just superb. And you haven't had to buy all the kit to be able to do that with your little needle and your picot scissors, etc. I think this is brilliant. Shop starter, $76.99, dodging Sean's head. Right, let's go and have a look at this so that I can show you now. Oh, I think my mat slipped a little bit there. It's cut on a funny angle there. Right, I can't show you that because look what it's done. It's moved. So I think my mat might have slipped a little bit. Now, if you ever get your mat slipping like that, I just want to show you something. On the back, make sure that this is as clean as the front, all right? And then also, if you find that it's slipping a little bit, to be fair, I'm probably ready for a new mat. Yeah, I can feel it there. So if I listen to this, that's got a nice grip there. There, it's not as prominent. So this is when you know you need a new mat. When you feel that that has gone smooth, so I can feel the difference. That feels like a very fine sandpaper. That feels like it's just smooth. What happens then is this bit here is where the rollers take that mat in. All right, so if it gets to this stage, it can't grip it properly. So when it goes back to do a second cut, which it would have needed to on this card because it's 300 GSM, it can move slightly. So that's, I know now that I need a new mat. And to be fair, look at the state of it. I have it a long time. So that's why. But that's the basics of what you do. So you bring on all your reflection files, create your offset, or create your design, weld it all together, and then your pieces will go over the top and you'll have your picture, but you'll have the stability of having it on a card base. Right, my lovelies, I am going through that wall to be with Stephanie. Brand new highlight looks. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be fabulous. Thank you for your company. I'll see you through that wall. See you in a bit.